In a quiet valley town lived a boy named Ethan. He was not known for strength, not for wealth, and not for talent. What set him apart was a dream that no one else believed in. Every morning, he looked at the giant mountain that stood beyond the horizon. Its snowy peak glowed like fire under the rising sun. And every morning, Ethan whispered to himself, "One day, I will stand there." The villagers mocked him. "That mountain is impossible. People far stronger than you have failed. Stop dreaming, Ethan. You'll only embarrass yourself." But Ethan didn't argue. He simply smiled and held his dream close to his heart. One morning, before the sun rose, Ethan packed a small bag with bread, water, and a rope. He hugged his mother goodbye and said, "Don't worry, I will return with the mountain's view in my eyes." And he began his climb. At first, everything felt magical. The cool wind brushed his face, the birds sang, and the view of the village below shrank smaller and smaller. But soon, the mountain reminded him of its power. Sharp rocks cut his hands, his legs trembled, and the thin air made every breath painful. By sunset, Ethan collapsed. Exhausted, broken, he dragged himself back down. The villagers laughed when he returned. "See, we told you, that mountain isn't for dreamers." Ethan lowered his head, but deep inside, a flame still burned. "This is not my defeat," he whispered. "This is my lesson." Months passed. Ethan trained harder than ever. He ran up hills every morning, lifted heavy stones until his arms shook, and taught himself to endure hunger and pain. With new strength, he tried again. This time, he climbed higher than before, but the mountain was unforgiving. Out of nowhere, a storm exploded. Lightning split the sky. Icy rain stung his skin. Winds roared so violently that he nearly fell into the abyss. Clinging to the mountain with bleeding hands, Ethan cried, "Why is this so hard? Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not meant for this." But then, in that moment of despair, he remembered his mother's voice. "Ethan, strength is not in the body. It is in the heart that refuses to quit." He crawled back down again, alive but shattered. The villagers shook their heads. "Give it up, Ethan. Life is not about chasing impossible dreams." But Ethan replied softly, "Impossible is just a word, not my reality." A whole year passed. Ethan was no longer the same boy. His body was stronger, but more importantly, his spirit was unbreakable. He studied maps, learned survival from wandering travelers, and trained his mind to stay calm in pain. When he set out for his third attempt, even the villagers watched silently. Something in his eyes was different. Not excitement, not arrogance, but a calm fire of determination. Step by step, he climbed higher than ever before. His body screamed, his breath grew heavy, but with every step, he whispered, "Not today. I will not give up today." Nights were freezing. Wolves howled in the distance. His food ran out. Still, he pushed forward. Finally, after days of suffering, when he thought he could go no further, the peak appeared, shining under the morning sun as if calling his name. With trembling legs and tears in his eyes, Ethan dragged himself upward. And then he stood at the summit. The world stretched endlessly below him. Rivers sparkled like silver. Clouds floated beneath his feet. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt infinite. Raising his arms to the wind, he shouted, "I did it! I never gave up!" When he returned to the village, no one laughed this time. The same people who mocked him now looked at him with awe. Children gathered around him and asked, "Ethan, what's it like at the top of the world?" He smiled and said, "The mountain taught me that success is not for the strongest nor the smartest, but for the one who refuses to quit." And from that day on, whenever the villagers looked at the towering peak, they no longer saw just a mountain. They saw Ethan's spirit, the spirit of never giving up. Life will test you. It will knock you down again and again. People will doubt you. Storms will fight you. And even your own mind will beg you to stop. But remember Ethan. Remember his climb. Failure is not the end. Failure is the path. Pain is temporary. Glory is forever. And victory belongs to the one who whispers every single time, "I will never give up."